All right, here we are, Saturday before we leave. Got a whole lot of stuff done this year, a lot more to do, but we've reclaimed a lot along the front fence. It's all nice and cleaned, trimmed. There used to be this vine traveling along this entire fence, and now it's gone, except for up here. You can still see some of it covering the part of the fence next to what we affectionately call the spider shed. So that's all cleaned up. Violetta's gone through and thinned out and trimmed off a bunch of the bushes and plants sitting along the front. Got a whole bunch of the overgrown weed parts and stuff taken care of, so that's looking good. There's the cottage. And in through the front gate. Still got to take and get rid of the sand and rocks here so we can pull a vehicle in. Bunch of trimmed up stuff here. Be looking at expanding this pump house here next year so I can organize it better. Violetta cleaned up a whole bunch of bricks, pieces and stuff that were here, and next year she's going to be planting some kind of plant in there. Those are all the bricks that came out of there. And let's see, did a bunch of trimming and cleaning up back here behind the cottage, tool shed. You can actually walk through it. It's mostly moss back here. It's really pretty. So we can come through here. That big pile of wood we needed to get rid of, we got rid of and burnt. Cleaned off one of the two stacks of bricks. Not the other one though. It'll probably just grow back. Violetta came in and cleaned up this little garden piece, filled it in with plastic underneath, I think, but then a lot of mulch, so that looks all pretty now. Filled in a few of the lower spots. When they put in actual electric, they had to take and run the line to the house, and that ended up with a big dip in the dirt, so she filled that in. This is our real masterpiece. If you remember the first video, this was all a big stack of bricks and piles of metal, and the trees were pretty overgrown. So I went and got rid of a bunch of the weeds and yanked out a bunch of the metal, and then mostly Violetta restacked the bricks. And so all those bricks are now organized over there instead of collapsing piles here. They were there for so long that there's 1 or 2 layers worth of bricks down in the dirt. We still have a bunch of this here. And most of this, I'm not sure if I can see in one of these, nope, is pumice stone. Little pumice stone that we can take and use for insulation or ground aeration. This used to be a massive 5-foot tall woody weed. This is where I was burning everything. Took and moved a whole bunch of lime for the trees and stuff back over here. To be able to move this barrel, we had to shovel a whole bunch of it into this barrel. So that's full. This is the compost pile being overgrown by the neighbor's pumpkins. some big pumpkins popping up in different spots. So this is an extra barrel or given the neighbor so he can burn some stuff. Another pumpkin back here. Took and cleaned up this area here. Used to have a whole bunch of bars and everything else from a greenhouse that had been up here. That was all broken, so we cleaned all of that up, and now we can actually... still got one pipe there. Oh well. Good enough for this year. And here, Violetta took and cleaned out most of this thing. And so all of the metal that used to be over there is now over here. And a little bit of cleanup along the front of Spider Shed. We still got a lot to do here, but that's a cute little shed we got to hang on to. The cottage. My attempt at restringing a clothesline. This has been where we've been spending our nice relaxing month, hanging out, enjoying the peace and quiet. Sun's rising. You can hear the roosters. Well, bye-bye, cottage. See you next year.